Welcome back, and welcome to the first week of the legislative session. And this is a unique week because it is probably the only time that every bill occupies the same position. They all have the same status. They take all the bills that are going to be introduced. It's usually a big stack that we start with in January. We get them and we introduce them to the body. They are brought forward in an official form. They are numbered and they are sent to a policy committee. And a policy committee is just like it sounds. It is a committee that is there to study the policy, and they are organized primarily by topic. We have an education committee, we have a transportation committee, we have a law and justice committee, etc., etc. For almost any topic you can think of, and probably a lot you can't, we have committees. And there's all kinds of reasons why we have these committees in the legislature. One of them is nobody can be an expert on everything. I can, but most people can't. So the members tend to specialize. They go to a committee that interests them and they have an expertise on. If you're a teacher, for example, you probably have an interest in going on the education committee, but you don't have to be a teacher to go on the education committee. You just have to go and express an interest and get assigned to that committee. And it is a subset of the members, a small group, although some of them are pretty large, especially in the House, just because there's 98 House members, 49 senators, so some of the committees can be pretty big. But it's not all of them. There'll be an education committee, a judiciary committee, etc., and those people will meet and look in detail at the bills assigned to them. And there are two things that happen in a policy committee. The first is a public hearing. And a public hearing is just like it sounds. It is an opportunity for a bill to be brought forward in a public hearing, be on TVW, the whole 9 yards, and the public can come and testify on it and tell people why it's a good idea, a bad idea, what needs to be changed, etc., etc. And it's not just the public, although it's primarily the public. It can be lobbyists, it can be other legislators, it can be anybody with an interest in the bill whatsoever. Sometimes we get experts, sometimes we get people from out of state. If you're doing a new thing, maybe a new program that we haven't done in the state of Washington, but maybe they did it in Colorado, you bring the expert from Colorado and that person testifies and explains their experience in Colorado. And the members can ask questions and they can propose changes and they can hear what people think about it, both professional people and members of the public both. Anybody that wants can come and speak on these bills, and that's the public hearing. And then later, they will take everything they heard and they will make any changes they think they want to make, usually with amendments, and they will bring the bill up again, and that is for a vote. At a public hearing, there is no vote. A public hearing is just for listening. That's all it's for. They're supposed to hear from the public. Executive session is where they vote. I don't know why we call it executive session. We just do. It just means voting. Voting session is probably a better term. They bring it up, they make any changes they want, and they vote on it. And if it receives enough votes, it goes out of committee and it goes to the next step in the process.